What is going on, YouTube? Averse John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5 on this glorious Top 5 Friday. One of the last Top 5 Fridays in the near future here. We're wrapping it up, folks, doing it through the years, starting from 1965 all the way to current. I started doing Top 5s in 2018, so this is why this is the last of those years. Next week, I'm going to do my Top 5 albums of all time to kind of close the circle. Of course, we will come back to this at the end of 2024, do my top 5 songs and albums of that year, but feels like we're at the end of an era here. Very exciting. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it at number 5. A Black Mile to the Surface by Manchester Orchestra, one of my favorite bands out there, from Atlanta, Georgia, no less. Just incredible. Andy Hull and Company doing what they do best. And here, really almost kind of doing a bit of a concept album where none of it necessarily all ties together story-wise. Some of it does, but every song on here starts with the word "the," starting with The Maze. And just some of their best work here. The Grocery is an amazing track. The Parts, one of their best ballads, just heartbreakingly beautiful. The Alien, just an amazing album that works as one whole piece, but several of these songs stand on their own as well. And yeah, I rank it up there. Probably, I don't know, man. They have so many good albums. It's for sure in my top 5 of theirs. But yeah, absolutely great. And that's just my number 5. So now at number 4. The Beauty Between by King's Kaleidoscope, a band that if you haven't heard of, you should check them out immediately. Super talented band. I think they have like 6 or 7 pieces in this band. Some horn, saxophone thrown in there for good measure on certain tracks. But yeah, they are, I believe, call themselves a Christian band, although I would say they're a bit more like riding the line of secular, kind of like a progressive Christian band, if you will. And they deal with some pretty heady topics on this thing. Coming from a church that they ended up leaving, I believe, because of some of the things that went on behind the scenes that they sing about on songs like Sticks and Stones. Sometimes Phoenix is an amazing track. Alive is great. The whole thing is great. And I think it's technically referred to as an EP, but man, this thing is fantastic. And I think the best thing that they've done thus far. But great band, and that's just my number 4. So now at number 3. Hot Thoughts by Spoon. I mean, you know I love Spoon. I've talked about them so many times on this channel. My very first Hot Tracks video was about the song Hot Thoughts, one of the great album openers on this amazing album from start to finish. But then you got Can I Sit Next to You, and you know, Do I Have to Talk You Into It, and all these songs that have a little bit of these like sexual innuendos, but Britt Daniel and the rest of the band just doing what they do best, like incorporating these kind of funky grooves along with just this alternative fun sound that is just uniquely Spoon. And I think they're doing it at just such a high level on this album that it's definitely, I would say at this point, in my top 3 Spoon albums, which is really saying something. And that's just my number 3. So now at number 2, Life and Livin' It by Sin Kane, and another artist that if you haven't heard him, check him out, man. He's incredible. His real name is Ahmad Galab, but just this guy who is Sudanese in background. He comes from Africa, but he kind of marries the African sound with so many other different sounds, from reggae to funk to rock, and opening this album with the song Dead Weight, which I talked about on my top 5 songs of 2017 a few weeks ago. It doesn't stop there. The journey to just upbeat, fun songs like Aha, and really cool, like reggae-fied bangers like The Way. Then you've got Favorite Song, which is just such a jam. And I got the chance to see him perform live here in Atlanta. Just an awesome, down-to-earth dude, and puts on a great show. And this, I think, by far is his best work to date. And that's just my number 2. So now at number 1... Jet Black by Please Please, rounding it up here full circle with another great band from Atlanta. Dan Dixon and company really outdid themselves on this album. I think it's one of the best of the decade, let alone of all time. I mean, it's just an incredible album. You got the title track, you got Broke, you've got Laser Eyes, you've got We Don't Scare. I mean, just every single song on this album has something different to offer. And it's almost like a throwback to the 80s. It has that kind of vibe, but you can't really box Please Please in, even though early on I used to call them like Radiohead with a groove, which is kind of selling Radiohead a bit short because Radiohead has grooves of their own, but they have a bit more grooviness, if that makes sense. And yeah, I just like every single song on here, from the beginning of Animals all the way through to Let You Down, which is just amazing, like the build-up on that thing. Man, and Dan Dixon as a producer, just like throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this thing as far as just the quality of sound that he's able to get out of just doing this kind of DIY. And the rest of the band, just super talented, all of them. Love Please Please. Hope they do more in the future. I don't know what the future holds. Their last album was 2020, but and supposedly they did like a farewell show back a year ago. But I hope that that is not true, because oh my God, these guys are amazing. But Dan Dixon does do other things. His other band, Narcissist, of course, some other older bands that he kind of gets back to here and there. Always doing something, this guy, and producing other great subjects here in Atlanta. But guys, that is my list. So let me know in the comments below what your top 5 would be. If you're so bold, leave me a top 10. And guys, we got so much more here on the channel. A lot of exciting things to come here on Johnny Radio. So be sure to tune in and like, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you for watching. And as always, Viva La Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.